So I get a lot of questions about how I store all this inventory, these postcards that I have. And so I wanted today to show you what I came up with to solve one of my problems. Now, I'm not affiliated with any of these products. I don't get anything from this company if you buy it or whatever. Just wanted to say that up front. It's just something that I found and it works. And I thought I would share it. Like I said, I get a lot of questions about inventory. One of the most important things about if you're really getting serious with postcards is how are you going to store your inventory you have listed, and then how quickly you can pull the cards. So if you're at 500 postcards, that's pretty manageable just by kind of knowing what they are. But once you get up over 500 to 1,000 postcards, you start running, the problems will start multiplying. The time it takes to pull cards, to find cards, the number of times that you lose cards is going to increase as you build your inventory. If you talk to any postcard reseller out there, most likely they're going to tell you that they've changed up their inventory 2 to 3 times, and I'm one of them. I started off and saying I knew what these cards looked like. After I got to about 1,500 cards, all the green cards are looking the same. It was taking me 10, 15, 20 minutes to find a card. So I changed it up. Got up to 2,000, 3,000. Still wasn't working. Changed it up again. It's easier to make the change now as you get started than going back and trying to redo your inventory once you get up to thousands. It's an incredible task. But everybody's going to go through it. Everybody thinks they've got a better mousetrap on how to do it. It's whatever works for you. But I wanted to share with you today how I managed a problem I had with my inventory and the size of the cards on there, and what I found to resolve that. And you already probably got a clue from the picture. So you want to store, let's say right now you have 1,000 postcards listed. You know in the next couple of years you're probably going to be, if you're really serious and you keep going, you could be up to 3 to 5 to 6,000 cards. This solution, approximately, and I was conservative on the numbers, you can store 8,000 postcards, standard size continental postcards. And what is it? It's the Wien-Fan industrial console table with a black metal frame 3-tier. That's the title. I think it's Wien-Fan or Win-Fan. I'm not for sure, but it's from Amazon. It's a table. It's basically a couch table. My wife calls it a sofa table. It goes in entryways or whatever. So I'm repurposing it. And in this video, I have a walkthrough of how I have it set up and how it fits into my area on here, a little short clip I did. And there will be links to the table and the things I talk about in the video description below, as well as a lot of other things. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this table and my problem and how it solved it. So I had a problem when I bought all these naval ships cards. There's over 100,000 cards. I had room. I thought I had enough shelves. It would 40,000 cards. That'd be about a couple of years worth. But then these cards came in, so I cleared out some space. We put spot for 20,000 more cards and more cards. Well, now some of these ship cards, the club actually, made their own postcards and got postcards, and some of them are not your standard size. They're bigger than a Continental, but smaller than 5x7, so they go in these larger red boxes. They're 7-inch wide instead of 6-inch wide boxes, and they were just taking up my shelf space that I had planned out for Continentals and standard cards in the white boxes. So I didn't want to put shelves in the fish room, or I didn't have room anywhere else. I wanted everything to be in my area, 5 steps from my desk. So when I go to pull cards, I only spend seconds instead of minutes and hours looking for cards. And then when I walk down the hallway where we had a spot for it, where my other toy inventory is, I wanted it all right here. So I've taken a couple months, the last 4 months, just looking, measuring multiple times on what to do. So that was my problem. So how did I do it? So I finally found a table. Now this table here is, like I said, the Wien-Fan 47 by 2 inch industrial console table with black metal frame 3-tier. It's 47 inches across there's two versions, and I'll show you that later in the video. But this is the 47 by 2 inch. It's about 30 inches high, and it stands off the floor about 6 inches, and the shelves are 11.8 inches, so almost a foot deep, which you need because your white boxes are 16 inches long, and the red box are a little bit shorter. They're more like 13 inches, but that way the boxes don't tip. You don't want a real skinny shelf because your box will tip and fall. So that worked out. Also, it has about a foot between the shelves, so if you want to keep lids on your boxes, or if you want to look in and just grab a card, that foot is about what I have in my other shelves, is about a foot, 12 inches. So this worked out just fine. How did I come up with the square foot? When I did the thumbnail for the video, I said you can put 8,000 cards in 5 square foot. So just the table alone, I used a little calculator on something called the internet, and I put in 47.2 and 11.8, exactly from what the description on Amazon said, and it comes up to 3.87 square foot just for the table. That's all it takes up. Now, when you put the white boxes in, those are 16 inches long, so you're going to have some hangover on each side. So I went and I changed it to 47.2 inches long, the table, and I said 16 inches wide, and it comes up to about 5.24 square footage. So that's why I came up with the 5 foot area. But that's right here, the calculations. And you can find these calculators on the internet. Just type it in. And but I used inches, and that's what they had. Now with this table with 47 inches across, those white boxes are about 6 inches wide and the red ones are 7. It'll hold on the bottom shelf and the middle shelf. It will hold 6 of those boxes across on each shelf. So that's a total of 12 boxes. Now the white boxes, they say from the company, they can hold 750 to 800 sleeved standard postcards. Well, I wanted to be conservative, so I said 700. So 12 boxes by 700 equals 8,400 cards. That's a lot. In postcard world, things just exponentially grow. I mean, for the space it takes up compared to other things that resellers sell, postcards in such a small space. So you can put 8,000 postcards, over 8,000 postcards in a 5 foot square area. Now just think if you average sold that card, 8,000 cards for $5. Let's just use $5. $5 times 8,400 is $45,000 of your inventory sitting in a 5 square foot area. And people don't want to spend the money. They want to be cheap on build their own and stuff like that. But you got $45,000 of speculated sales sitting there. You know, you want to make sure you secure your inventory. That's how I think. So I got $45,000 sitting there. I'll spend the money to buy a table and some boxes to make sure they're taken care of. Now that's not what I paid for the postcards, but that's my speculative sales. That's my expected sales. If I sell someone wrote me a check today for the list price, that's what it would be if I sold them for $5 a piece. Now let's talk about the white boxes. A lot of questions about the boxes. There's standard boxes out there. BCW has them. Amazon. I get my boxes from Bags Unlimited, and there'll be a link in the description to these boxes in that site. Now you can save $1, you can save 50 cents or whatever, but the boxes I started with, I wanted to have the same boxes. I wanted to be uniform. I wasn't really worried about saving 50 cents a box. I wanted them to be the same. I like things the same. So that's why I used the Bags Unlimited. If you start with BCW, you might want to stay with that box, or someone else likes the box with the open front. It doesn't matter, as long as it works for you and it fits on the shelf and it'll do what you want. But the boxes, the white boxes, are 16 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 4 inches high. Now just think, a Continental is 6 by 4 Continental postcard. That'll fit in there. 5.5 by 3.5 standard postcard. That'll fit in there. Cards over a Continental, over 6 inches, they don't fit in there, and that's what's happening with these red boxes. If you buy them from Bags Unlimited, they're between $5 and $7 a piece, depends how many you buy, plus shipping. And they're pretty good about shipping and stuff like that. So I've never had a problem with Bags Unlimited with their pricing, invoicing, and stuff like that. So I've kind of stuck with them. I'll pay the extra couple dollars. Now these boxes, they say, will hold 700, 750, 800 cards on there. It depends how many you put in there, how thick the cards are and stuff, but it's a good thing. So I use 700 for all these calculations. So across the 12 boxes that you can put on this table, that equals 8,400 cards if you use the white boxes and put 700 cards per box. So there'll be a link in the description for those boxes. Now I'm gonna step away. I got a little clip I did of my area and the table, how I have it set up, so you can see that. So let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and finish out the video. But I just wanted to share all this with you. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to start this walkthrough of how this table fits into my processes. But before I do that, someone wants to make a cameo appearance, and our buddy Sal, he's my office assistant, office manager. So he's about 35, 37 years old, and he comes down with me every day from his cage upstairs where he sleeps at night to the one down here. But that's Sal. He likes to be on camera. So this is the table right here, and this is how it fits into my area. I like it because it's nice and narrow. I can walk around it. It gives me a lot of space on either side to walk around without bumping into the boxes and stuff like that. And it also gives me a place to do work on top. So if I want to take a box of postcards and work on it, I can set it right here without dropping them or spilling them, because not that I've done that, but it's a mess when they spill and you got to put them back in order. But over here, the problem I ran into, like I was saying, is these white boxes hold all along here. They hold the Continental and the standard postcards that I have listed, but these red boxes were holding the cover, naval ship covers, and the larger than Continental cards that wouldn't fit into these boxes, and they were taking up all my space that I was for my future for the Continental standard card. So I needed to find something to do, and I didn't have any more room on my walls in the office for shelves. So I've been looking and looking, and I finally found this table, and it replaced the table in here that didn't have any shelves, just a workspace on top, and this one actually there. So let's take a closer look at how this table is put together. So it's a solid particle, veneer wood on top, all the shelves, 3 shelves. They're screwed together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each side, and these metal rails support. Each shelf has those metal rails going across, so you're not going to get the bowing. If anybody's using plastic shelves for postcards, those white boxes weigh about 10 pounds each. So on that one of these shelves, there's about 7 boxes. That's about 70, 80 pounds. Over time, your plastic shelves might start bowing in the middle if there's no support. This won't do that because of these supports. And it's a pretty solid table. It doesn't wobble or anything, but it does come with if you put it on a wall, it does come with a hook so it doesn't flop over. But with the weight of the postcards that's been on the carpet, I don't see a problem with that. But you can put those white boxes there. You can put 6 of those on each shelf. So it's a total of 12 white boxes. Or I can, like I did here, the larger boxes, the red boxes that I had problems with, those are 7 inches across, and it still gives me some room on each side. But I can put 6 of those, I can put 12 of those. These hold a little bit less than those white boxes on there, but I needed to get a place for these. And these are all printed with, prints listed. I call them prints because it just tells me that they're in these boxes. And I just number the boxes. I look for the numbers. How I did these is I put numbers on each sleeve, because the dividers that would go in here were too small and they would cover, so I just used 5x7 sleeves. And when I saw 46820, I just pulled this out and pulled the card out and I put it back in, so it's nice and safe. They're standing straight on there. That over there is for when these get processed. These are not processed yet. But this is where I was having the problem. These are all the standard Continental, and I had all these red boxes down here, and on the floor I used the lids from these white boxes to keep them off the floor, and I don't like too much stuff on down there, and I needed to move those. But I do have the covers here, cards that are larger than normal. These are the jumbo ship cards. I had to make special things taller, but those are large cards. I don't have many of them, but these are from Turkey. These are naval ships from Turkey, and they're just huge cards, and they got to be shipped differently as well in bigger envelopes. But those are covers that aren't done. These are not processed. These are RPPCs and photos that are scanned, prints that are scanned ready to go, and covers. And all of this will fit over by the time I'm done with that onto these shelves. Might have a couple red boxes over here, but this leaves me room for what I wanted to do in the future. But that's the whole setup, and this table is just perfect. It's nice and narrow, and if it is uneven, down in the bottom, on bottom of each leg, it's a little screw thing, a little pad that you can screw up and down to make sure it's stable. But it went together real easy. And then this is the 40-inch version. They make that smaller one, but it's just a neat way to put 80,000 postcards or 8,000 postcards in a small area and keep it safe and secure. Oh, and all those down there, that's my back stock that I purchased. Lots of postcards that I keep them in these little trays, and then I'll scan them up and when they're ready to get listed. But that's the whole area, and the overseer is right there. He likes to watch the hawk. So let me get you back to the computer and we'll finish up this video. Okay, as you can see, my inventory is all in my office. It's all right here. It's 5 steps away from me, and it's grown. It keeps growing. Even though I do sell a lot of cards, I do chew the boxes up and move them toward the front, so I'd have some on the end empty. But I expect to continue to list cards, so I had to build for the future. But that's everything in there. And even Sal, he likes it. He thinks it's okay. He's given approval. But let's talk about where we get these products. So there's 2 on Amazon. There'll be a link for the table below, so you can take a look at it, and maybe you can find one cheaper somewhere else. But when I latched onto this, boom, I just bought it. When I did the measurement and it worked, I said, yeah, that's going to work. So there's 2 options that they have on Amazon from the link. One is a 47 by 2 inch length for $97, $98. And then there's a 40-inch one, 39.37 inch. And that's $93. So if you got even a shorter space and not enough room for that extra 7 inches, you can look in there, but there's 2 options. I think they both come with that rustic brown. The boxes, like I said, come in from Bags Unlimited BCW, and they're $5 to $7 a piece. Depends on how you buy them plus shipping. But just think, if you total up the boxes are about $75, let's say, your table's going to cost you $100 shipped. You're going to be between $175 to $200 to hold $45,000 in inventory. Speculated sales of the inventory. So you're going to spend $200 to protect and store your inventory and save time, because everything's nice and neat on there. So that's the table. That's how I solved my problem. And if you got any questions, let me know on how I do things here. But we do have another video right up here on our inventory process and how I use the SKU numbers for each card. Thanks for watching. That's all I got for you.